The evening air was getting colder as the man walked back to his car after his usual routine of feeding the neighborhood cats. This daily habit had started months ago when he noticed hungry strays wandering around his area. What began as occasional feeding had turned into a regular commitment that brought him joy and purpose. As he reached his car, something unusual caught his attention. A mother cat was sitting comfortably on his driver's seat with her tiny kittens resting peacefully beside her. The car window had been left slightly open, and she had somehow managed to squeeze through with her babies. The man immediately recognized her as the same cat he had fed earlier that day, but this time she had brought her little family along. The mother cat looked directly at him with eyes that seemed to be pleading for help. There was something different about her appearance and behavior that made it clear she was not a typical street cat. Her fur was well-groomed and clean, and her gentle nature suggested she had once been cared for by humans. She appeared calm and trusting, which was unusual for cats that had lived their entire lives on the streets. Later that evening, the man spoke with several neighbors to learn more about the cat's situation. What he discovered broke his heart. The mother cat had been abandoned by her previous owners who had moved away from the neighborhood several weeks earlier. They had simply left her behind without any consideration for her well-being or survival. Some kind-hearted neighbors had been providing her with food occasionally, but the situation was becoming more difficult as winter approached. The weather was getting colder each day, and her young kittens were far too small and vulnerable to survive the harsh outdoor conditions. The mother cat had entered his car because it offered warmth and shelter that she desperately needed for her babies. The man understood that this was more than just a random encounter. The mother cat had specifically chosen his car and was clearly asking for his help. She had remembered his kindness from earlier and trusted him enough to bring her most precious possessions to him. This was her way of communicating that she needed assistance and protection for her family. Without hesitation, the man decided to take action. He carefully gathered the mother cat and her kittens, making sure they felt safe and secure during the process. The mother cat remained calm throughout, as if she understood that help had finally arrived. She seemed relieved that someone was taking responsibility for their welfare. Once at his home, the man prepared a comfortable space for the new family. He provided them with fresh food, clean water, and warm bedding where they could rest safely. The mother cat immediately began to relax, and her kittens continued to sleep peacefully in their new environment. For the first time in weeks, they had a secure place to call home. The transformation was remarkable to witness. The mother cat, who had been stressed and worried about her baby's survival, now appeared content and grateful. She had found someone who understood her needs and was willing to provide the care that her previous owners had failed to give. Her kittens would now have the chance to grow up in a safe and loving environment. This rescue story demonstrates how small acts of kindness can lead to life-changing moments for both animals and humans. The man's daily routine of feeding street cats had created a bond of trust that ultimately saved an entire family from a potentially tragic situation. Sometimes animals choose their rescuers just as much as rescuers choose to help them. The story also highlights an important issue in pet welfare. When people move or face life changes, they sometimes make the heartless decision to abandon their pets rather than finding proper homes for them. These abandoned animals face numerous dangers, including starvation, disease, extreme weather, and traffic hazards. Many do not survive on their own, especially when they have young offspring to protect. This rescue has a happy ending because one person chose to act with compassion. The mother cat and her kittens are now safe, warm, and loved. They no longer have to worry about finding food or shelter, and they have become part of a family that truly cares about their well-being. If this story touched your heart, consider supporting local animal shelters and rescue organizations in your community. These groups work tirelessly to help abandoned and stray animals find loving homes. You can also make a difference by being a responsible pet owner and helping spread awareness about the importance of spaying and neutering pets to prevent overpopulation. Share your thoughts about this rescue story and suggest names for the kittens in the comments below. Subscribe for more heartwarming rescue stories that show how love and kindness can change lives forever.